Hello, beautiful people. My name is Michael, and I suffered depression from around the age of 19 to about 24. And I remember during that time I experienced feelings of loss, confusion, lack of purpose, lack of energy. I also had regular ongoing lower back pain and consistent migraine headaches. So fortunately for me, however, I was drawn to the practices of yoga at quite a young age. And it was from ongoing practices in the yogas that I found that my depression seemed to dissolve and life started to open up for me. So at the time I had no idea how yoga was doing this. All I knew was that yoga was helping in some way. And I was so kind of inspired by yoga and these alternative therapies that I continued to study these medicines. I studied massage, I studied Reiki, and I went on to study Chinese medicine and became an acupuncturist sometime later. So it was actually during my studies in Chinese medicine in university and college that I came across the Chinese medical perspective of psychology. And it was during the studies of psychology that I became really fascinated by the framework of understanding psychology according to Chinese medicine and the yogas. And a lot of it has to do with the actual organ system. So in Chinese medicine they don't focus so much on the brain or the chemistry in the brain. They focus more on the flow of blood, the flow of energy through the system, in particular through the organ system. And generally the healthier the organs, the healthier the various components of psychology. So when I discovered this was really eye-opening and really interesting to me. It was only been the last 2 years that I've really been focusing more on studying, researching depression, in particular mild to moderate depression. And from my research and from the data that's been coming out, it seems that depression and various forms of mental illness are actually reaching epidemic proportions. And that's what they're saying in medicine now, is that depression, mental illness is reaching epidemic proportions. We've got at least 10% of the world's population suffering depression that we know of, and at least around 15% of people on medication for mental illness of some kind. So, and interestingly, while numbers are actually increasing in diagnoses and pharmacological prescription, is that while these new innovations in pharmacology and psychotherapy are being put into place, depression and mental illness seems to be, or is, still increasing. So there's something not right going on. There's something that we're missing. And so that really kind of got me more and more motivated to study and look into Chinese medicine. And how can this framework of Chinese medicine and yoga help people, especially in the early signs and symptoms of mild to moderate depression? So that's what this book that I'm working on at the moment is going to be released before the end of the year. And this is what this crowdfunding campaign is all about. We're really focusing on getting more exposure for this message, these teachings coming out of Chinese medicine and the yogas, because Chinese medicine offers a new, refreshing, and very effective and very powerful way of understanding depression that is based on natural means and has very good long-term outcomes. So 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10-year outcomes, where we're not dependent on medications and so on. So this is what this whole video, this is what my work is all about at the moment. If this kind of work sounds inspiring to you, sounds interesting to you, then please feel free to support this crowdfunding campaign. The more support I can get from you guys and from the community at large, the more exposure we get and the more publishers will take notice, and therefore more people will get more exposure. So this is what I'm currently doing at the moment. I'm actually traveling around the world, speaking at festivals here and there, and I'm making videos and researching this book. And I'm finding some really fascinating stuff. So if you want to learn more about what I'm working on, please feel free to check out the offers in this crowdfunding campaign. Feel free to follow me on Facebook, check out my website, and continue to engage, or at least check out the videos that I'm coming out with, because it's really time we brought something new to the table. And I think Chinese medicine and yoga is like one of the best new tools, or best tools that we can bring forth to help people suffering from this depression. So I hope to see you again, and thank you for watching this video. Ciao.